This shirt I'm wearing is from Kiribati in the Pacific. I went a couple of years ago and they gave it to me. I want to introduce to you another great thing from Kiribati, and that is Brother Cole Sinclair, who worked many years there. You're with Mission Alive from the MSC Mission Office.
My name is Colin Sinclair. I'm an MSC brother, and I've worked basically in the Pacific for the last 30 or so years. Roger's asked me to do a talk over the next couple of days on basically on Kiribati. The reason being that in the last few months the Mission Office has given money to Kiribati, especially the school in Abamama, Chevalier College Abamama, to build a new Maniaba. So I'd like to tell you about Kiribati and my life there. In 1988 I was appointed to Kiribati to look after Brothers Formation, and basically I've been in the Pacific since. Kiribati is a very small country in stature, but in area it's not. In area it's half the economic zone of Australia. And one of the things about Kiribati, it's the only country in the world that is made up in the 4 hemispheres: north, south, east and west. There's no other country in the world that is like this. It astrides the equator and the dateline. Part of the country's in the northern hemisphere, part of the country's in the southern hemisphere, part of the country is one side of the dateline, the other part of the country on the western side and the other side of the dateline. So it astrides the equator. Kiribati was first populated about 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. Mainly they come down through Micronesia. But in about the 1400s and the 1500s, there was a migration from up below, from South America through the Solomon Islands up into Kiribati. So basically that is the concept. It's a Christian country. It's about 98% Christian. The population is about 110,000, a bit over 110,000. There is 33 islands. It consists of 33, not really islands, they're atolls. There's 33 atolls, of which about 21 inhabited islands. The Catholic Church arrived in Kiribati in about 1888. The MSCs come there about 1888. Priests and brothers from France. But before that, there was a Catholic population, because before they arrived there was a Catholic population, because to workers who worked in the down south, down the southern islands, met the Catholic faith, and they were practicing the faith when the priests arrived. The brothers and priests arrived. But the London Missionary Society was well there in Kiribati before that. The London Missionary Society. So basically it was a Protestant country, but today 55% of the population are Catholics. About 55% are Catholic. The Protestants are about 40%, and the other number of the population make up different churches. The 33 atolls are mainly coral atolls, which mean they're very low. There's really only one real island, what we call a real island, in the country. There's only one. They're an atoll, they're sort of a U shape with a big lagoon. So there's very few resources in Kiribati. The 21 inhabited islands mainly have small populations except for Tarawa, which is the main and central island. About half the population of Kiribati, that's about 50,000 people, live on Tarawa. And Tarawa is probably one of the most densely populated places in the world. More so than even in Hong Kong. It's more populated, densely populated in Hong Kong.
Brother Cole will be back to tell us more about Kiribati and about his work there. So in the next week or so, we will have Brother Cole on regularly. Keep up the mission.